Today I'm going to talk to you about short answer and how I can use it or how I've used it in my German classes to help with German writing. So it can be used in any subject. Of course, it's helpful for promoting literacy. We tend to think of it as in English as it's an American product, but certainly you can use it across the board in any subject and in any language. I will say the challenge for my students was on their laptops, not be able to do special characters like umlauts, but we talked about ways around that, and certainly what we were looking for in our first assignment was a particular note, and I'll explain that in just a minute. It is a freemium program, meaning there's the free version, and then there's premium accounts where you can upgrade to different levels for a different price point. Very reasonable. You do get, I believe, 40 days free. So when you sign up, I do want to just show you a little bit on their website, is that it allows you to do different types of quote unquote games, because it is gamifying writing and literacy. So there's the all in, there's also the ranking one, and then there's the paired one. So I'll show you that in a little bit. And it really is just to help with writing across the curriculum. And as language learners, we're not only learning how to speak and comprehend, like the interpretive tasks, but we do have to work on our presentational writing. So I've already logged into my account, and I'm going to use an example with a German class. With the free account, I believe it's up to 5 questions, and then of course I currently still have my premium account for trial. And I'm just going to kind of show you the simple question that I wrote. So this is very boring. You create a question, and then you release a code so students can answer that question. And then I'll talk to you about the results and what happens. So this was the question. I don't want to launch it, but let me just... So you can just see what the question is that I wrote. I just said this for Deutsch, and I said, answer the question or writing prompt given to you by Frau B. So I projected a different writing prompt on the board once they have all entered. So therefore, they are looking at the question on the board, and then I can also keep an eye on the teacher side of things. So once they are given the writing prompt, they write. So for this particular assignment, I asked them to write, we're doing Einkaufen, a shopping unit. I asked them to write 5 sentences about shopping. I said, I want to see a topic sentence, so a sentence that explains what this paragraph is going to be about. And we're also going to be looking for clarity. So the things that I wanted us to look at were in particular, get over here to the criteria. I wanted us to focus on the clear topic sentence, and I selected clarity. So for us, I told them that clarity would be comprehension. So I want them to be able to write something that your entire class could comprehend. They keep looking up words that are so specific, and they want to use them, and I wanted them to use vocabulary that everyone in the class could understand, that we've covered over the last couple years. So those were the 2 criteria for them to use when they gave feedback to their classmates. That's pretty much all I did. I did not give them any files. I did give them, it's not on here, but I also gave them some sentence starters that they could look at. I think it's under, nope, it's not under files. Sorry, but I gave them, there's the success criteria, but I gave them certain things to look for. So I launched the wonderful question, and the students wrote. It gave me information up in the upper left-hand or upper right-hand corner that told me what percentage had been done. I kept walking around, and I certainly made sure that they were writing. And at about 85% of the students who had completed it, I said, okay, guys, you have exactly 1 more minute to go, and then I'm closing it, so you're not going to get, great feedback or incomplete. And then they finished up writing. So it was a little different than how I might do a timed writing assignment, but I was able to see who had submitted. The students simply type, and then they hit submit. As I mentioned with German, the challenge was not having umlauts that were incorporated into the questions into the text, because most of them are on their laptops and they don't have the number keypad. It's a little more challenging to deal with the character map. So I told them that they could either use, for an A umlaut, put the A and then a colon to indicate they knew that was supposed to be an umlaut. They could put AE. So those would be some things I would suggest. Certainly this is mostly more for English language, and so thinking about adding special characters is not part of the typing. I think if the students had typed it on their phones, then it would have been a little easier for special characters, but also I wanted them to be on their laptop so they could see the whole picture, and it's a lot easier when it comes to some of the competitions, in a sense, that you have for feedback, that you can see more on a screen of the laptop than you could from a phone. So what will happen is you will see the text depending on what kind of question you give. Let me just go ahead and show you what happens for launch. We played all in. That meant everybody was all in. I wanted everyone to compare 4 pairs. So by the end, they saw at least 8 classmates' writings, and it was totally random. There's also the parrot, where the entire class just compares the same pair of student responses. That's totally random. Or there's the ultimate battle royale, and all of these features you can check out on the short answer YouTube channels to see how each one is used and given to the students. What I think is of the greatest importance is like looking at the results. So let me quick show you. This was with 11 students. I'm going to hide their names. So throughout the whole process, I did the random name generator, and then I could reveal what their names were. What I loved about this is it shows the points. I didn't want them to give, in particular, individual feedback, just ranking feedback. The students also, after they write and they turn in, they say how confident were they in their writing. And so before they all submitted, they were like, okay, as a class, 4.18. That's how they felt. In general, you can see their feedback scored by their classmates of those students that read their paragraphs. You can see their responses right here. And then the points distribution is off to the right-hand side. So this is with 11 students doing it. This is interesting in terms of a student actually taking their time to talk about how they're going to improve it. So I think this would be something I would incorporate a little bit later, is making sure that they all submit the reflection. This was the first time they did this assignment, but I do love how this is a feature as well. And I love how it compared. So this individual, prior to submission, submitting their paragraph, said, hey, I think I got a 3. But after reading everybody's and thinking about how they did, they're like, oh, no, I think it might have been like a 4 out of 5. So I would require the reflection at the end. What I also think is great is you can export the results to use, but I'm going to show you what I ended up doing. So what I did is I took the student's paragraph and I copied it onto the online whiteboard that we have, and then we talked about it as a class. Like, why did this one get so many points? Like, still not showing whose it was. The individual who knew who it was, they knew, but like, you know, someone said, oh, I really liked how they used big words. We also went through and we corrected it, right? It's anonymous. We fixed grammar. There are lots of grammar mistakes in this, but it was clear. For most, they said they really liked the topic sentence because it was catchy. I honestly I thought this was a bit of a stretch, but I loved how they thought outside of the box with shopping. And this individual was literally just shopping for a pet. In my mind, I thought they were going to shop for food or clothing or furniture. So this was a unique thing. And then we went through to talk about other instances, and then how could this author have improved? Despite this individual author ranking the highest with the most points, how else could he or she have done? What I would probably do is take it a step further and then also have the students go through and make corrections on their paragraphs as well. But definitely, I think the reflection is great, and we just sort of ran out of time with this activity. I just think this would be great, something as a tool to try to use in your German classes or other language classes, and check them out. I think this is a great new tool to have in your tech toolbox. Thanks.